Mr. President, Heads of State and Government, Secretary General, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I wish to thank the General Assembly for the honor bestowed on the government and people of Nigeria.
We ask for the spare parts. We are even more grateful for the physical presence of the United States military sections that go to our institutions in Nigeria and train them and go to the front in the northeast to see how they are performing as a result of the training given to them.
Was Muhammadu Buhari Nigeria's savior or its greatest missed opportunity? Born in a dusty northern town, he rose from a soldier to a president who promised to crush corruption and unite a nation. Yet, by the time he left office in 2023, Nigeria was grappling with economic collapse, ethnic violence, and one of the wildest conspiracies in political history. From leading a coup to winning a historic election, Buhari's story is a roller coaster of discipline, ambition, and division. Shortly, we'll uncover the untold truths of his life. From his humble beginnings to the controversies that shook a nation. How did a small-town boy become Nigeria's most debated leader? Let's dive in. In the arid town of Dora, Katsina State, a boy named Muhammadu Buhari was born on December 17, 1942. The 23rd child is Fulani father Adamu and Kanuri mother Zulaihat. Losing his father at 4, Buhari grew up under his mother's strict guidance, learning discipline in a modest Muslim home, and earned his West African School Certificate in 1961 at Katsina Provincial Secondary School. At 19, he joined the Nigerian Military Training College in Kaduna, driven by a sense of duty. His training took him to Mons Officer Cadet School in England, India's Military Academy, and the U.S. Army War College. Rising fast, he became platoon commander in Abeokuta and brigade major. In 1975, he backed a coup against General Yakubu Gowon, earning the governorship of Northeastern State. By 1976, under General Olusegun Obasanjo, he was Federal Commissioner for Petroleum, creating the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation and building over 20 depots. In 1983, fed up with corruption under President Shehu Shagari, Buhari led a coup, becoming head of state at 41. His war against indiscipline campaign forced citizens to queue at bus stops and fight corruption. But his harsh tactics, jailing critics and curbing press freedom, sparked backlash. In 1985, General Ibrahim Babangida ousted him, detaining Buhari for 3 years. But his iron-fisted rule was just the beginning of a remarkable journey.
And set this country once again, clean up the economic and set this country once again.
After his 1985 ousting, Muhammadu Buhari could have faded into obscurity, but his resolve only grew. Released in 1988, he waited until Nigeria's 1999 democratic transition to enter politics. Joining the All Nigeria People's Party, ENPP, he ran for president in 2003 and 2007, losing to Olusegun Obasanjo and Amar Yar'Adua amid claims of rigged elections. Undeterred, he founded the Congress of Progressive Change in 2010, securing 12 million votes in 2011, but falling to Goodluck Jonathan. His northern base, the Talakawa, saw him as a beacon of integrity, but ethnic divides limited his reach. In 2014, Buhari joined the All Progressives Congress, a coalition built to challenge the People's Democratic Party's 16-year grip. His 2015 campaign promised to crush corruption, defeat Boko Haram, and revive the economy. Nigerians, frustrated by PDP's failures, handed him a historic victory over Jonathan, the first time an opposition candidate won Nigeria's presidency. At 72, Buhari became the oldest elected leader, symbolizing hope for a nation desperate for change. But governing a polarized country of 200 million, with economic storms and ethnic tensions looming, would prove far tougher than winning an election. And what came next would test Nigeria's faith in their new leader. On May 29, 2015, Muhammadu Buhari stepped into Aso Rock, pledging to transform Nigeria. His National Social Investment Program, launched in 2016, was a bold move. NPower employed 500,000 youths. Trader Money offered microloans to traders, and cash transfers reached 2 million poor households. His anti-corruption crusade recovered over $300 million in looted funds, according to the EFCC, targeting high-profile figures. Against Boko Haram, his military reclaimed territory and freed 103 of the 276 Chibok schoolgirls kidnapped in 2014, earning global praise. Infrastructure projects, like $12 billion in railways and roads, built on his 1970s petroleum legacy. Re-elected in 2019 against Atiku Abubakar, Buhari vowed to take Nigeria to the next level. But cracks soon appeared. A 2016 recession hit hard. Unemployment soared to 33%, and critics called his anti-corruption drive selective, targeting PDP rivals while sparing allies. Arrests of activists like Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho fueled accusations of authoritarianism. His frequent medical trips to London, totaling over 200 days between 2015 and 2023, earned him the nickname Baba Go Slow. As Nigeria grappled with debt and insecurity, whispers of a darker secret began to spread, threatening to overshadow his achievements.
I feel fulfilled that we have started the Nigerian rebirth by taking the initial critical steps, and I am convinced the incoming administration.
In 2017, Buhari's prolonged medical leave in London, over 150 days for an undisclosed illness, ignited a firestorm of rumors. Social media buzzed with shocking claim. Buhari had died and been replaced by a Sudanese clone named Jubril. Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, a group pushing for Igbo secession, fueled the theory, citing a 2018 Nigerian diplomat's killing in Sudan as evidence of a cover-up. Viral posts viewed millions of times shared side-by-side photos alleging changes in Buhari's appearance. Fans speculated wildly, pointing to his gait or ear shape. In 2018, Buhari dismissed the rumors in Poland, saying, "It's the real me. I'll soon celebrate my 76th birthday, and I'm still going strong." No evidence backed the Jubril theory, dismissed by analysts as misinformation rooted in ethnic tensions and distrust. Buhari's reliance on foreign hospitals, while Nigeria's State House Medical Center lacked basic equipment, fueled outrage. First Lady Aisha Buhari criticized the clinic's dysfunction, highlighting elite hypocrisy. The conspiracy, though baseless, exposed Nigeria's deep mistrust in its leaders. But that wasn't the whole story. Another crisis was brewing at home. Buhari inherited an economy tethered to oil, which made up 90% of exports. When oil prices crashed in 2016, Nigeria plunged into a recession, with GDP shrinking by 1.6%. His refusal to devalue the naira, meant to protect local industries, caused foreign currency shortages, scaring off investors. The central bank's multiple exchange rates, 5 by 2020, created chaos, benefiting elites while small businesses collapsed. His 2019 border closure aimed to stop smuggling and boost agriculture, increasing rice production by 1.2 million tons per the FAO. But food prices skyrocketed, with inflation hitting 17% in 2021. Fuel subsidies, costing $10 billion yearly, drained reserves, and their partial removal in 2020 sparked protests. Infrastructure spending, like $12 billion on railways, promised long-term gains, but immediate pain was undeniable. Unemployment hit 33%, and 133 million Nigerians lived in multidimensional poverty by 2023, per the National Bureau of Statistics. Critics accused Buhari of favoring northern agricultural programs, sidelining southern farmers. Supporters argued his austerity set the stage for self-reliance, but the public's frustration boiled over, with protests and ethnic bias claims growing louder. And then a violent storm engulfed the nation.
The president-elect will assume office tomorrow. Congratulations.
In October 2020, Nigeria's youth ignited a movement that shook the nation to its core. The hashtag #EndSARS protests, sparked by a viral video showing a man allegedly killed by the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS, in Delta State, unleashed years of pent-up rage against police brutality. SARS, formed in 1992 to combat armed robbery, had morphed into a feared unit, accused of extortion, torture, and unlawful killings, targeting young Nigerians based on their fashion or tattoos. The hashtag, which first trended in 2017, exploded as thousands marched in Lagos, Abuja, and beyond, demanding SARS's disbandment and broader justice. Buhari's response was swift but hollow. On October 11, he announced SARS's dissolution, but protesters, burned by past empty promises in 2014, 2015, and 2017, kept marching. Reports surfaced of the government freezing activists' bank accounts and arresting leaders, fueling distrust. On October 20th, 2020, the Lekki toll gate massacre stunned the world. Soldiers and police allegedly fired on peaceful protesters in Lagos, with Amnesty International reporting at least 12 deaths. Buhari's administration denied fatalities, blaming hooliganism, but videos showed unarmed youths, some waving flags, under fire. Social media posts later claimed Buhari called the protests a plot to overthrow him, deepening public outrage. The movement, backed globally by figures like Beyonce and Joe Biden, exposed Nigeria's generational divide, with youth chanting "Sorrow Soak," "Speak Up," against a regime seen as out of touch. Though SARS was replaced by a new unit, SWAT, critics saw as a rebrand, not reform. The scars of Lekki remain, with no justice for victims, marking a dark stain on Buhari's legacy. And yet, another crisis loomed larger, threatening Nigeria's very unity.
I don't know which party my wife belongs to, but she belongs to my kitchen and my living room.
While Boko Haram grabbed headlines, a deadlier conflict tore through Nigeria's heartland. Nomadic Fulani herdsmen, pushed south by desertification, clashed with Christian farmers in Benue, Plateau, Taraba, Nasarawa, and southern Kaduna. From 2015 to 2023, over 10,000 died, per Human Rights Watch, with massacres like the 2018 Benue attack killing 73. Buhari's slow response, calling them communal clashes, infuriated survivors. The Global Terrorism Index ranked Fulani herdsmen among the world's deadliest groups. Yet Buhari, a Fulani, resisted labeling them terrorists, citing herders' rights. His national...
The problem about the cattle rearers and herders in Nigeria is a very long historical thing. But the state most concerned, they knew that the Nigerian herders never carried anything more than a stick and occasionally a machete to cut down foliage and give it to their animals. These ones are carrying AK-47.
His national livestock transformation plan stalled, and arrests were scarce. Southern governors banned open grazing in 2021, but Buhari opposed it, escalating tensions. The Catholic Bishops' Conference called the killings religiously motivated ethnic cleansing, alleging state complicity. Supporters argued the conflicts, worsened by climate change and banditry, were complex, and Buhari's troop deployments curbed Boko Haram. But with 2,000 deaths in 2022 alone, his inaction became a symbol of betrayal, deepening Nigeria's ethnic and religious divides. So, what does Buhari's legacy really mean?
Of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and without fear or favor, affection or ill will, in accordance with the oath which we have just taken. Fraud, indiscipline, corruption, condemnation, misuse and abuse of public office for self or group aggrandizement, which had assumed debilitating proportions in the last few years, will be dealt with ruthlessly, no matter whoever may be involved. The private sector has also its share of crimes against the Nigerian.
Muhammadu Buhari, who died on July 13, 2025, left a legacy as complex as Nigeria itself. His anti-corruption fight and infrastructure gains won loyal supporters, but economic collapse, ethnic violence, and the brutal response to #EndSARS left a nation divided. Was he a disciplined reformer or a leader who fueled Nigeria's deepest rifts? Share your thoughts below, and stay tuned to World Spark for more stories of leaders who shaped and shook their nations.
I am constantly praying for you and for Nigeria to thrive in peace. As I retire home to Daura, Kaduna State, I feel fulfilled that we have started the Nigerian rebirth by taking the initial critical steps, and I am convinced the incoming administration will quicken the pace of this work to see a Nigeria that fulfills its destiny to be a great nation. I am confident that I am leaving office with Nigeria better in 2020.